Facebook. How are you all? I hope you are all well. You're all rocking it. I am here. It's Friday night here in Australia. And look, day 15 of my 30-day run of my Facebook run. And I was just commenting to Olaf how easy this seems to be this time around. And it just shows me that I've hit another level. It's incredible when you actually do this and you realize that you've hit another level. So anyway, how are you guys? As you're hopping on, say hello, tell me where you're coming in from. How's your day been? Happy Good Friday if you're on the other side of the world. Leslie, how are you? Happy Friday, happy Good Friday if you do celebrate this. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Elsa Morgan. I'm a wife, I'm a mum, and I also have a home business. I love helping people step into their growth and to be able to achieve whatever goals that they want to achieve, especially women. Love empowering women and mothers to show them that they are capable of achieving absolutely anything that they achieve if they just believed in themselves, if they just trusted themselves to be able to think big, dream big, and act accordingly. So as you're hopping on, say hello. Don't be a stranger. I spent the day resting and recovering. Fantastic. That's really good to hear. Well, I hope you have a relaxing Easter and Passover. We acknowledge our tradition. I wonder if anybody does have any traditions, but I was born in Argentina, and tradition is on Good Friday. We don't do much. Basically, it's a day of basically reflection. So anyway, I wanted to hop on and just give you a recap of my day 2. So very early this morning, in fact, midnight Melbourne time, I started my day 2 of my $25,000 speaking course with Advance Your Reach. And for those of you who don't know why I'm doing this, is that recently I was appointed as speaker for the Higdon Group, and basically Ray and Jessica Higdon are now expanding their company and they're employing speakers to be able to speak on their behalf globally. And they've now got a speaking team, and so we've been training with possibly the best speaking training company in the world, Advance Your Reach. This company actually trains Tony Robbins' team and also Grant Cardone's team as well. So they are renowned for being the best in the business. So the last 2 days have been a bit of an eye-opener for me, and also I have been pinching myself wondering how I got here, but it has been a journey of growth, and I think that's probably one of the very first things that I can say. Hey Denny, how are you? Thank you so much. Yeah, the Higdons, they're amazing, and I love their vision as well, which is why when I was first given the opportunity to be considered, at first I did say no. I wasn't quite sure. I think I was scared. I'm just going to be completely transparent. I just think I was scared to think that I didn't have enough to offer the world. I didn't have enough of a voice to be able to inspire people. I didn't think I had a big enough story, and I haven't hit my goals, my big goals. Like I haven't quite reached where I want to go. And so, but I was challenged on a couple of fronts by people that I respected. But then I was challenged by a couple of people that I respected, and it made me really dream big. And one of the things that my good friend Stacey Hall said to me, because she said to me straight up, you are born to be on stage, and she just said to me, do you want to be just known as a top leader in network marketing, or do you want to go out and change the world? And for me, it's always has been about changing the world. For me, it's always been about impacting the masses and leaving a lasting legacy that is going to, impact generations of women, to be able to give them inspiration and motivation, and see me as a role model of someone who faced many, many challenges in her life and faced adversity in so many different shapes and forms, yet overcame all of those and went on to become, whatever I end up becoming. Because life, I certainly didn't think I was going to be here this quickly. I did see myself as a speaker on stage perhaps in my 50s. I certainly didn't believe that, I didn't realize that, how fast I was growing, that it just presented the way it was. And so that's when I was challenged that way. I reached out to Ray and I said, hey, can I still be considered? And I was given the opportunity to submit my video to be considered. And so here I am. I submitted my video, they loved it, and I was chosen to be on the speaking team. And so the last 2 days have been one of extraordinary growth. I mean, so much so, like normally when I go through growth, my body, I mean, a lot of people that go through like lots of personal development will understand this. Me personally, when I go through a lot of growth, it's my body that actually responds. Like my brain is in overdrive, but my body is the second piece or the last piece to catch up. And so, which is why I'm sick, right? Because and it doesn't surprise me at all that I'm sick, because the last intentionally the last 45 days I've been really, really pushing myself into growth, throwing myself into situations that have forced me to level up. Like I've launched my podcast, I'm doing this 30-day Facebook Live. I've submitted a chapter for a massive book that's coming out. Can't really talk about, but it's with a New York Times bestseller that's coming out this year. I've been invited to speak on radio in the US market. I've been invited to to be on 2 podcasts now. Overnight, I got invited by someone else, by 2 7-figure earners, to appear on their podcasts. I'm rehashing my blog. Olaf and I have created our own company to incorporate things like some swag. We're licensed the Queenie Effect, and so the last 45 days have been massive for me. Whilst I recognize that we've got a pandemic happening, I've definitely walked my talk. Basically, I've been telling everybody to really throw themselves into growth, learn new stuff, and I've basically done that. I don't know a first thing about launching a podcast, and I've just done it. I don't know a first thing about writing a book, and I've submitted a chapter for a New York Times bestseller, best-selling author. And so for me, and now have subsequently been invited to speak on podcasts. One is an owner of a publishing company, and he wants me to speak on, how to launch international teams. And I've got significant experience in this area. Like I've done it probably about 3 or 4 times now within network marketing, where I've launched international teams, and I've got an extraordinary international team at the moment. And so this is something that I can definitely speak to. And so, so definitely the last 45 days have been massive for me, and my body's just catching up. And so the last 2 days have been extraordinary growth. Like literally, everything that I learned was new. Like there was nothing that I knew. It was all like, wow, all of it was brand new. I suppose the only thing that I could take in with me was me and my background, and what made me, right, and where I was today. And so day 2 was obviously a continuation of day 1, boom, boom. But we spoke more about the outline of the presentation. Like yesterday was more about our background, our introductory story, and how we were going to, hey Fipsy, how are you? How we were going to warm up with the audience. Day 2 was talking about the outline, the guts of the presentation. And that was a lot of work. Like mentally, it was very exhausting. And, apart from the fact that it started midnight Melbourne time and it went all the way through till about 7:30, 7:45 for me. And but I'm proud of myself that the 2 days I stuck it out, and I was present and actively participated right through. So we basically studied the entire content that we're going to be presenting. So there's certain elements that are unique to us in terms of our stories and our background. Like, for example, what was it about Rank Makers that, I could, how did I play, or how did Rank Makers play a part in my life, kind of thing. But also looking at the content that the Higdon Group want me to present specifically, right? And so we went through all of that. We talked about how to actually close, how to make the offer as well. Like, it's really, really funny. There are elements of there were kind of elements of my selling career, but nothing really that was like sticky or going, oh, I did that as well. It was all brand new. Like this is a totally new way of me doing things. And it's going to be, I'll talk about what I was going to say just then. I'll park what I was going to say. We also learned some new techniques to get people to take action then and there as well. And then different ways of closing off the presentation, which, you don't realize that until actually they bring it to your attention about what they do. You go, oh, I've had that done to me, or I've had that done to me too. It's incredible. And so it was such a massive experience. We had Ray Higdon appear on both days as well. And it's just such an incredible honor to be representing his company. I have such incredible respect for him and Jess and the vision that they have that I still can't believe that I'm here. And so the next few weeks is all about refining my presentation. It's about really getting my stories, about my background and how Rank Makers came into my life, and then really getting to know the crux of the offer. And then what I need to do is I need to submit a final video to the trainer, Pat Quinn from Advance Your Reach, and Pete Vargas. And basically they assess it and they give me some feedback. Once I get all of that right, then Ray will watch it and give his approval. And then the marketing agency or the booking agency that books on my behalf and the Higdon Group's behalf will actually view it as well. And then they'll start booking me for events. It's really that close, but it's going to be a lot of hard work between now and there, and so basically I use the rest of today to really decompress, because I need to do that. When I'm in massive personal development growth, there is a time where it's almost like my body shuts down. It just needs to decompress. And so I use today to just I did some work on my business. I did work on my business. We've got new flavors coming out, which is absolutely exciting. So there's a lot of excitement happening with my company right now. So I worked on that, and then basically the rest of the afternoon I caught up on some sleep. And so basically from here on for the next couple of weeks, it's about it is a perfect day to rest, Leslie. You are absolutely 100%. And so it's really from tomorrow is really getting the body of the presentation down right, specifically working on the back end first. So tomorrow is about really getting that right, submitting that for critiquing and some review over the next couple of days for it to come back. And then I'll give it a practice run. Hey Ben, how are you? I'll give it a practice run, submit it for Pat to give me some review. Then I'll give it a one more whirl, and that would be my final submission, which goes to Ray Higdon, Pete Vargas, and Pat Quinn for approval. And then what happens is that the booking agency will pick it up, and then they'll book me to go and speak on behalf of Ray and Jessica Higdon. So there we go. That was really day 2, and it is a very steep learning curve, but I'm really, really proud of the fact that it falls so much in line with my vision. I mean, my vision is, if you ask anybody in my organization, they will tell you that I've said this over and over again, that, my vision is to up-level our profession of network marketing. I absolutely love it. I'm so grateful I'm a part of it. And I want it to be at a point where ordinary mums and dads, humans, millennials, look at our profession as a viable option to be able to generate income. And we've got a fair way to go. It's going to be a bit of an education process. There's a lot of things that really need to be worked on and stamped out in our profession, like onerous income claims and, making these deceptive claims about how easy it is to build a business. We need to really stamp all of that out, and we need to make it such that it is seen as legitimate and professional as well. And so that's part of my vision, and I think that's part of the reason why Ray and Jess picked me, because I've spoken about that for so long, about why it's so important for me to play a part in the role of our profession. And if that's part of my legacy and that's what I leave, then I'm proud of the fact that I'm here. So I wanted to share that with you. It's been an exciting day. It's been one of reflection for obvious reasons in terms of my faith, but also reflection on how far I've come. And so my message to you guys is, that you might be in a situation right now where you are putting one foot forward every single day and you're showing up and you're thinking that you're not moving very far, when in fact you've gone so far further from where you first started. And that's exactly where I am today. 2.5 years ago, I was ready to quit. And 2.5 years ago, I really didn't see that I had any chance of being successful in this profession. And then when I really decided to take it seriously and show up every day and treat it like a business, did my life actually change? And it granted, it hasn't actually, it hasn't traveled in one straight line, and I haven't gone straight to 7 figures yet. But I'm definitely on my way, and along the way I've been able to have some massive learnings, some painful breakthroughs as well, which I'm proud to talk about, because it's been part of my process of learning and part of becoming the person that I am today. And the person that I am today is like so completely different to who I was back in 2015 when I first joined this incredible profession. Never knowing that it was going to change me the way that it has, and never knowing that I would play such a big role going forward as well, with such an incredible, incredible couple in Ray and Jessica Higdon. Never ever in a million years did I think that I would be one of their speakers for their company. And so it's an incredible honor, and I'm really, really excited to be able to be part of that Higdon Group vision. And to be able to, when the stages open up, right? And, when the stages open up around the world, I'll be traveling around the world talking about the Higdon Group vision, talking about Rank Makers, talking about how incredible being part of that community is. And until then, I may have an opportunity to speak on digital stages like webinars and obviously what's happening like now with the Rise Up Challenge, because Pete Vargas, who is the owner of Advance Your Reach, is part of that, and he's part of the team that's actually critiquing me for, to get me to stage standard. So yeah, it's that was pretty much day 2. So from now on, this is when the real work happens. So I've taken on all the feedback to date. I did a lot of practicing today, and then now it's getting my 3 parts of my presentation all ready and finalized, getting that ready, all critiqued and feedback, and then making a final submission for Ray and Jess and Pete Vargas and Pat Quinn and the booking agency, and make sure that they're all happy with my final presentation. And then that's it. Boom, away I go, speaking on stage, impacting the masses. For me, it's really about seeing people's eyes light up, with something that I've taught them, or something that resonates with my story, or seeing someone having this, breakthrough. That for me is what drives me every single day, is to be able to have that impact, more so than me being on stage. Me being on stage is an absolute honor, but it's not what really gets me out of bed. It's part of my vehicle. I just see it as something that I have to do to impact more people, right? Similarly, when I'm on Facebook Live, it's just something that I have to do to impact more people. It's, long time ago, a mentor of mine, Lisa Grossman, said, if you want to impact more people, turn the camera around. And I did that a long time ago. I stopped trying to be perfect. I stopped trying to be somebody that I wasn't, and just basically showed up authentically. And in that process, I've been able to help a lot more people than I ever have been. And so I'm really grateful for that learning. So I'll be sharing more and more of my journey on Facebook Live as that happens, and share in my stories as well, outtakes and things like that. And my blog is also going to be showcasing a lot more of my speaker's journey, more so than anything else. We're going to be launching some swag as part of the Queenie Effect coming soon, so stay tuned for that. And so yeah, it's exciting times. So tomorrow is really day 1 for me to get all my final presentation ready, and yeah, away we go. So I hope you found some value in that. Greatest takeaway for me, like I said, is for you to realize that every single thing that you do, you may not see the immediate gains or the immediate results, but you do see them over time. And you may not think that people are seeing you or people are not being inspired by you, but you have zero idea. Like, I get inboxes from people that I don't even know and tell me about how something that they've heard, and like I get tagged on stories from people. I have no idea where they've heard me, but they've taken on something that I've taught them, and that really inspires me. And I feel like I'm starting to have this ripple effect, which is what I've been working really hard towards. And let me tell you, you can get there as well, but it just takes a lot of work and just a lot of drive and commitment. But you're not quitting, which I almost did, as you know. So I hope you have a great Easter, guys. I'll be back tomorrow, and I look forward to sharing with you some more information tomorrow. But until then, if you do want to speak with me about any of what I do in terms of my company, in terms of what we offer, in terms of getting a better version of you, in terms of my coaching with the Higdon Group, please feel free to just jump onto my profile, send a message, and I will do my very best. I am agnostic when it comes to coaching, like in terms of it's very neutral. There's no mention of company or anything like that. Happy to help. You can catch me on my podcast, The Queenie Effect. I'm actually just about to do another one. Or jump onto my website. You can drop me some feedback there as well, or you can send me an email on queenie@elsamorgan.com. Thanks for hopping on, guys. I hope you got some value, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Ooh.